And so it begins.
Yeah. Living in this time behind enemy lines, so I got mine, I hope you.
Chapter 4 is the most recent addition to the John Wick series, the fourth installment in this deadly odyssey of Keanu Reeves' unstoppable hitman and his fight against the immovable object that is the High Table. Where do I begin? This movie was an absolute masterpiece. You expect that the stunts and the fight choreography all ready to be top tier, but Chad Stahelski has taken it to a new level, with all the punching, kicking, stabbing and shooting. It can be difficult to recall the franchise for its actual plot, particularly after 4 films. We've come a long way from the straightforward beginnings of the guy seeking revenge for the man who killed his dog.
You shot my dog.
I get it.
John Wick Chapter 4 significantly expands the franchise's universe. Looks like Neo is still plugged into the Matrix, and now has learnt even more martial arts. John saves his best shot till last and finally gains his freedom from the High Table, but at a cost.
Spoiler alert.
This is John Wick Chapter 4 Explained. Chapter 4 picks up from the events of Parabellum, where John Wick is left dead after being shot off the New York Continental and now is in the hands of the Barry King. They have agreed to team up and head after the High Table. Now, John Wick has had a senzu bean or two, fully healed and after the Elder, who currently holds John's wedding ring and his freedom. First step to visit Morocco. After dispatching all the mercenaries, John comes face to face with the Elder, who has been replaced by another man, and he is no longer in hands of John's ring. For him to regain what he seeks most, it will be his death. But John Wick doesn't give 2 shits about the Elder.
Not really.
The High Table want John to pay for his actions, and the Marquis de Gramont is a new emissary, the villain who believes he's the hero.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
And to maintain order, there must be consequences, and the consequences begin at the Continental. Winston must face the penalty of defying the table, and the Marquis declares him excommunicado. He destroys the Continental, and to pay for the failure to kill John, he executes his concierge, Sharon.
It is a pleasure having you with us again, Mr. Wick.
Playtime is over, and the Marquis means business, with unlimited resources provided by the High Table. Bill Skarsgård brings a menacing and omnipotent presence to him, following the death of the Elder and his rise to power, with such authority and to commit to the wares of the table that no one will ever escape from it. The Marquis recruits the one and only Donnie Yen, John's old comrade, who is a highly skilled blind assassin, Kane, who is reluctant at first, but his daughter's life is on the line. Similar to Sophia and her daughter, he then blindly agrees. We learn that Kane blinded himself after being instructed not to see his daughter by the High Table. So to be near to her, he offered his sight as penance. The Marquis is sadistic, and Bill brings his inner Pennywise to his menacing glare, and that he will go to any lengths to enforce the penalties to those who have broken the rules. The Marquis also recruits the Tracker, aka Mr. Nobody, and a few more elite mercenaries, including Chidi, the leader of the gang, but they are scrubs compared to Donnie Yen's character, Kane. The hunt for John starts at Japan's Osaka Continental, where John is taking refuge by his friend Shimazu Koji, and his daughter Akira, played by Hiroyuki Sanada, and Rina Sawayama, who is a brilliant British singer, and her debut into film couldn't have been more fierce. Shimazu, a master of the katana, reminds John of the value of brotherhood, which sits above any bounds tied to the High Table. One of the reasons why he is happy to assist John despite his excommunicado status, and his staff and daughter are behind him when the Marquis' elite team arrive to flush out John and ignite a war. The gun fu goes berserk, and a surprising standout is Akira. As soon as she disrobes, battle ready, you know she means business.
You armed?
And Donnie Yen, I didn't think John had any equivalent, but when he is faced against Kane, who don't see eye to eye,
An eye for an eye, John.
he absolutely dominates the scene, as already a fully fleshed character with the equal measures of heart, grit, and even his blindness, who reminds me of Leslie Chow from The Hangover.
Did you die?
I got shot.
You're going to die. Maybe not.
If he had the martial arts skills of Jackie Chan from The Drunken Master, a highly skilled assassin, but enjoyed to have fun with his enemies.
Hey,
The fight between Kane and John is a spectacle. In the gallery of the Osaka Continental, with Japanese artwork and shoguns in showcase to be smashed, showcasing the intricate gun fu the franchise is known for. John also wields a pair of nunchucks new to his arsenal. But Kane's masterclass with the cane is so good, even has John on the run. The tracker interferes the fight and Kane fails to kill John Wick. Kane is then faced with Shimazu, and after a brief discussion of the high table rules and morality, a brilliant display of katana swordsmanship, Kane assassinates Shimazu, allowing his daughter to escape, telling her to live another day to seek revenge. John then returns to New York and agrees with the vengeful Winston to invoke the old traditions of the High Table to challenge the Marquis to a duel. Though only a crime family can request this, John severed his links with the Roscaroma family, who he had been orphaned to back in Chapter 3, when he presented the Rosary to gain safe passageway to Casablanca. John returns to Berlin, to the Ruska Syndicate, and requests readmission to the family. Though in exchange he must assassinate another member of the High Table.
You want to kill him?
Called Killa, played by Scott Adkins. We also see here a cameo of Anna de Armas' ballerina, which has been confirmed to take prior to the events of Chapter 4. So John Wick is likely to make an appearance, and we will learn more about the Roscaroma family. John heads to Killa's nightclub, where we see Scott Adkins in a fat suit to play Penguin from the Batman.
You know my reputation.
Kane and the Tracker, aka Mr. Nobody, are also on the trail, and they play clearly a rigged game of 5-hand poker, with the loser's life at stake.
A real-life dilemma.
An all-out brawl breaks loose. While John slices Killa's throat with Killa's winning hand, chases Killa through the club. A callback to the first chapter on his hunt for the man who killed his dog. Killa is eventually cornered by John, who then knocks him over a set of stairs, sending him plummeting to the ground head first. John then returns to Keisha, his adopted sister, and is branded as a member of the Roscaroma family, allowing him the credentials to duel.
It's time to duel!
Following the High Table's traditions, John and the Marquis agree on the rules of the matchup. Dueling pistols at sunrise at the Sacré-Cœur Church.
Dueling pistols. 30 paces.
And like Game of Thrones, the Marquis declares the champion.
I will be your champion.
Kane to fight in his place. John and Kane have a heart-to-heart, and John upgrades his armor, a new bulletproof suit by the Bowery.
42 regular, wasn't it?
The Marquis loves to enforce the rules, but he does not play by them.
I misinterpreted the rules.
And increases the bounty on John to 40 million to send every assassin after John to execute him before sunrise. The hunt begins.
Go!
The announcer over the radio gives coded messages about the bounty to everyone and their mother to go after John.
Mr. Wick.
Taking influence from the Warriors film in the 70s, John fights through gunmen in the streets like a Street Fighter.
Hadouken!
Drifting through the traffic like he's in Tokyo Drift, until he is forced to embark on foot, where he is hit by cars as much as Tuco taking hits off that blue stuff.
Booyah!
Heading into a warehouse, a pivotal scene straight out of a video game, where John gains Dragon Breath rounds, just like he told him the doof doof from Call of Duty. He fights off all the mercenaries in a cinematic masterclass, which throws the Bond movie straight out of the runnings of how to do an action movie.
What?
Then the fight to the top of the stairs, where the intensity and the level of villains rank up the higher you go. John makes it to the top of the stairs of the Sacré-Cœur, before being plummeted down by Chidi. Kane and Mr. Nobody assist John, with his dog biting Chidi in the balls and marking his territory. Moments before sunrise, John makes it to the top of the stairs, and him and Kane grab their pistols for an old-fashioned duel. 30 paces, 20 paces, 10 paces, both are severely wounded. On the third round, Kane shoots John in the gut. Kane and his daughter are declared free from the High Table, and the Marquis grabs his gun and stands over John as his executioner. But unknown to him, John didn't fire. John then blows his brains out, citing the word the Marquis has been reinstating throughout the whole movie.
Consequences.
The High Table then declares John and Kane their freedom. John goes back down the steps and briefly thinks about Helen, saying her name before he slumps over. John Wick dies a free man. With all the body John has piled up, 439 in the first movies alone, I shudder to think how many he committed for his impossible task.
The bodies he buried that day.
The Bowery King and Winston stand beside John's grave, buried beside his wife, with words, "loving husband," on his gravestone, a request he made to Winston in chapter 3. The Bowery King asks Winston if John is in heaven or hell, and it's hard to tell. And Winston leaves to say farewell, son, as he acted like a father figure to John throughout the franchise, an amazing cultivating end to the story of a loving husband, but would always be remembered as a man not to be named.
The fucking nobody?
That fucking nobody is John Wick.
The post-credit scene picks up with Kane in Paris. He has recovered from his duel with John and visits his daughter, who is playing the violin in the street. We see a hooded Akira approach Kane, ready to avenge her father's death from the start of the movie. Remember, Kane stated to Akira he'll be waiting for her, and spared her life until she had recovered to face him once again. A sequel could explore the new Baba Yaga for Akira's journey to seek retribution. Akira, hidden blade in hand, has now replenished to get her revenge. Chapter 4 cultivates the non-stop never-ending action sequences and exhilarating stunts that highlight Reeves' physical prowess and commitment. I mean, he's 58, the battle scenes are expertly orchestrated, and Reeves pulls off most of the feats himself while using a range of weapons and fighting techniques such as nunchucks, a fire shotgun, and of course, gun fu.
I know Kung Fu.
The musical composition heightens the emotion and suspense of each scene, and the cinematography itself deserves an Oscar, with their elaborate set pieces and action captured in one take, no Hollywood shots.
American movie, you can see there's a lot of movement. I never moved my camera, always steady, wide angle.
The portrayal of the sinister underground labyrinth of the criminal organization within the John Wick universe just extends lots within the fourth installment. The gritty and stylish aesthetic look of the movies is looking to extend into the spin-offs, the Ballerina and the Continental, releasing later this year. John Wick may be dead, but the Baba Yaga still lives on.
We call him Baba Yaga.
Thanks for watching, and if you're liking the content, don't forget to like and subscribe.